All right. What's up, guys? Stinky Cock Goblin back with another video on this Thursday. Happy Thursday. Recording Wednesday night, and I'm going to answer the question: Is Clash of Clans getting harder, or am I just bad at this game? And I think it's the latter. You know, when 17 came out and the Electro Boots came out, I was cooking. I was literally every single war. I was blowing away the top four bases, and I was having no problem whatsoever. And you know, honestly, there's parts where most of the strategy I've stuck with air for a bit, and it's crazy. The last couple of days, I had kind of an identity crisis of what strategy I wanted to use, and I was out here using root riders, and that's when you know I've lost a little bit of hope. But I think with the strategy that I have, and I utilize this newer redefined one, I do like this strategy quite a bit that I'm utilizing, but I'm finding that, you know, I'm really struggling you hit a wall as far as your progress here in Clash. And that's really frustrating for me because I was I got to 134th in the country in the U.S. as a couple of days ago, and I have dropped significantly in trophies ever since. And you know, part of me, there's a patience component of like planning out the bases and funneling the bases. I think this is a perfect example of a great funnel. I think I just really struggle sometimes on properly funneling things. And I gotta give it to the bases. I think the bases are getting harder. I think that I'm just not as good against these more advanced bases that are actually pretty darn good. And not only that, but like I think that air is becoming less and less of a meta, and I can't. You know, I don't know if people play this game a lot on the PC, but you know, I don't play on an iPad either, and maybe that's something I need to invest in. I'm curious if people have good feedback on that, like, hey, an iPad's a lot easier to use, because I struggle with the fact that with ground attacks, I have to dump so many items. Like I have to go Ice Golem, Root Riders, Valkyries, Healers, Heroes, skeleton spells. Like I have to dump so many things, and I'm terrible with those kind of strategies because I don't get it right every single time, and I dump random items out, and they're just garbage. So I think personally, I get to a plateau. Like these first two war attacks were great. They're better. I planned them out solidly well, and then the next two, they're just garbage. And I don't personally, sometimes I just don't think I look at bases very well and think, oh, that was in hindsight, that was actually a pretty good spot. Most of the time in hindsight, it's like, man, that was stupid. I can't believe you just did that. And part of it, you know, with Legends is I don't know the system, but I have tried to actually really try to push to like 6,000 trophies, and that is very difficult. I mean, I have the bases to do it. I have the defense to do it. I've kept up on that, but I have really, really struggled overall in trying to break that barrier permanently. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like Clash fatigue or that I am just terrible at this game. I wouldn't say I'm bad, but I'm certainly finding out that I'm just not that good. I'm just not that good. And that's frustrating for me. That's been really frustrating lately because it's like, man, especially in a clan that if I want to push to champs and stuff like that, I have to perform, especially if I'm going to attack the first base or even the second base for that matter. You know, overall, I think I'm fairly decent. But there's definitely things that like I could pick up on, I could be better at. And I've hit a plateau. I've hit this point where I'm at, 5,600. I got to like 56, 57 a couple days ago. And now I've lost multiple trophies. And it's just like, it kind of makes Clash of Clans really frustrating. I think it should be getting harder. I certainly am not complaining about that because the game it was certainly fairly easy when 17 came out, and I think it definitely has gotten harder as the defenses, the supercharges, the merge defenses, all that kind of stuff has been added. But if you look at like how I've done, like all these, I've had a couple 1 stars, I've had some painful, but some that just are not even close, like just absolutely not even close. And here's a good example of that I'll show in my second base. And granted, I was kind of too lazy, and this is not necessarily too lazy. It's just more so I wanted to try out and compare my second strategy of what I usually do, and I wanted to. This is the one where I use 7 invis, and then I use a clone spell on the town hall, and I don't necessarily think that is the best way to go with the meta and the bases. I'm finding a lot of these bases where there's not a lot of value on the town hall, so the clone spell is pretty useless. I don't really do a great job with the Spirit Fox of preserving her, or for instance, my ability. I essentially just wasted my ability there. And then this was a garbage arrow, didn't really get much value. Going behind the fire spitters, but still, with the Stone Slammer, this is just like there's just not enough of the base that was taken out by the RC. And like the recall for her was just pointless. Like it was absolutely pointless. She has no health. She has that was just useless right there. And so some of these attacks, it's just like, what are we doing? Like this was barely like realistically like 65%. And so it's just like one of those setbacks of like, man, you really like looking back at that base. Like if I go back, hey, shh. Doggy. I would look back at this and be like, okay, was it really that smart to push up towards the monolith? Probably not. Honestly, going into the fire spitters is bait, but I could have almost gotten close to a fire spitter, or at least gone from the top here with the arrow, tried to get one of these sweepers out, and then gone from this top side. That way, I take out one of the spitters, I push in through this side, I create more of a funnel. When I create this, whatever I did there, I kind of created a funnel, but it was this complete L shape, which I just didn't get that much value. And honestly, I did a terrible job of the RC walk. So I don't know, all feedback is appreciated. I'm trying to get better with this. And then the second replay was, I think, even worse as far as the RC walk. And, it's frustrating because it's like, I do these things all the time. I do the RC walks all the time. And I think this is a solid push. I'm trying to push this side, push across, take out and it was perfect. I got the Gigabomb to pop, and then I mean, how does that miss, man? So I panic, and this is the other thing that I'm bad at. I potentially could go from this side still, but I'm worried about the sweeper. But instead, I panic, and I go from this top side. I go straight into the sweeper, but technically I'm still going also still into the air defense. So it's just like stuff like that is just so frustrating. And then here's another case where I don't really think the blimp cloning the Yetis really got that much value. I mean, it got some, but I just like the dragons kind of split apart, and yeah, it's just frustrating. Because I was like, you go from like steamrolling every single base, your clan's hyped. I mean, we are killing it in war, and my clan's backs gotta hurt at this point because I go in, and fortunately this time I got the top 2 bases at least, and they got to see my pitiful attacks on 3 and 4. But it's like, it makes it so much easier for us to maintain our streak if I take out the top 4. We're starting to get a lot better clans with this. Look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 straight perfect wars so far. And it's just like, it's frustrating. It's like, I want to get to like a much higher trophy count, but I just can't. I lost 65 yesterday. I lost 25. I've lost 80, 90 trophies in the past couple of days. It's just really frustrating. And, for me, it's like I want to be better. I want to get better. I want to improve. But sometimes I think I need to take a little bit more time. I need to assess the bases a little bit better. Maybe ask my clanmates a little bit more. Because, I have all the tools to be able to do it. I clearly can get those 3 stars, but I'm inconsistent. I've become more and more inconsistent as the game's gotten better. And I think it's a combination of both. I think a little bit of burnout. I think the game has gotten tougher. It is what it is. So let me know what you guys think. Please like, comment, subscribe, and peace.